Okay guys, I just want to preface this video by saying it is Sunday right now, and you're about to see all of this. The green shrimp, white shrimp, blue shrimp, and black shrimps go into the 75 gallon over there. You're about to see all of that, and I just wanted to preface this video by saying I apologize. This is going up at 7 p.m. versus 7 a.m. when I typically try to publish videos, and I also apologize for not getting the video up yesterday for Saturday specials. Yesterday was awfully busy. I got every single one of these that is now in there except the carbon realies. I got all of those done Friday. I had to stop because the lights were going out, which you see at the basically, I think it'll be the last clip. But I'm deciding to change around with my schedule a little bit again. I know. But I'm gonna keep Fishy Fridays, Saturday specials, Shrimp Sundays, and Crabby Mondays because the animal videos really seem to be the most popular. And no matter how much I want to tinker and stuff, it takes a long time, and it's not getting the views and the likes and all like the support and everything as my other videos with the animals. So I'm gonna focus on the animal videos, and I'm gonna basically keep Shrimp Sundays going. I'm gonna keep Fishy Fridays going. When I said I would cancel those, I'm not gonna have a video on Tuesday or Wednesday. I will have a live stream on Thursday for Business Thursdays at 7 p.m. Arizona time, which is Mountain Standard Time without daylight savings. I just wanted to mention that because there's been a lot of support on my animal videos, and a few people have subscribed, and I'm gonna kind of assume that they watch my animal videos and then subscribe. So I don't see the point in trying to do a Tinkering Tuesday when I got one view on that video 3 days after it was published. So that's why I'm just gonna keep the animal videos going. I will be doing the Neon Yellows and Orange Shakira this week. I may feature that this coming up Shrimp Sunday. Hopefully I can get that done without too much delay again, because I don't want to be publishing a video. I don't want to be filming a video Sunday to publish it Sunday night when I typically try to publish stuff in the morning. But in this video, one last thing I want to mention. In this video, there is a part where I mention that the Snowball Shrimp tank does have shrimplets. It does. But I'm still going to do something else with all of these tanks for the crabs. I would like to put the crabs in these tanks for a reason that, again, you'll find out in tomorrow's video. I wanted to mention it, but I'm just going to say that for tomorrow's video, for Crabby Mondays. But I'm just waiting for the carbon relay tank to kind of, all the dirt and stuff in the water column to settle out. I just removed all the plants, which again you see in another clip. Right now I'm just rinsing some lava rock that I got at Home Depot, and I'm rinsing it using the faucet, the tap water, putting it in here. This is dechlorinated water that I dechlorinated with Safe. I will be putting this in the 75 gallon planted guppy tank, and the shrimps will be going in the planted guppy tank, and I'll try to get them exactly on top of here. This should provide a lot of little tunnels that they can kind of crawl into and colonize like ants. I heard about that from L.R. Brett's Aquatics, one of his videos. I'll put a card in the corner right now, so go ahead and check out that video if you want to learn more, but do that after you watch this entire video. Thanks. Okay folks, so now I'm just going to put that in this corner right here. It's not a permanent thing. I'm going to be putting them in the 90 gallon. That's a little bit taller than a 75, and it's a 90 gallon. I'm going to be moving a lot of these stem plants and stuff into that tank. Okay, a few of them, because I'm actually going to be putting these two Amazon swordlets in the 90 gallon. But basically I'm going to get some different types of rock, like some river rock or some larger rocks, because this is kind of, there are some tight spots and I don't want the shrimp to, molt and end up getting trapped or anything. So this is only for like maybe a week, hopefully. I hope to get that converted to freshwater. It was in my family's old saltwater tank like 5 or 6 years ago, I think, or something like that. So that will be moving up on top of here. This will be moving down there, and that will be some Saturday special in the future. But I just wanted to let you know that this is temporary. He has L.R. Brett's Aquatics has not tried it with. I mean, he was just trying it the first time with lava rock, and I don't want them to get trapped. So this is only going to be temporary. They're just temporarily going to colonize it until I get something better for them in the 90-gallon when it gets up there, and once I convert it to a freshwater tank. So I will show that real quick. Hopefully this actually fits. I apologize if I don't, like, if my camera hand kind of tilts down or anything, because I'm still not too experienced with filming with one hand and doing something with the other, so I'll try to get this as smoothly as I can. There are awesome floating plants and a little bit of debris. And that is literally only going to be there for maybe a week. It's quite ugly though, you have to admit. I mean, hey look, they're having a party, they're having ice cream, woohoo! Anyways, I'll stop this clip. I'll tune in when I have some of the shrimps in here so I can show you how many of each kind I have. All of my shrimps, save some of the carbon realies in that tank, will be going into this tank, and some will be going to my local fish store on Monday. This is now Friday night at 5:54, so practically 6 o'clock. I'm just now getting to this because I was hoping to actually have this moved over there, which obviously I haven't even gotten this one out into the backyard yet. So I'm a little bit behind schedule, but I have to get these done because I'm not going to have a lot of time tomorrow. And I don't typically do stuff on Sundays, so stay tuned and I'll let you know how many shrimps I get in each one of these in a few moments for you guys, probably just a second, so stay tuned and keep watching. We have 2 green jades left, right there and right there. This one looks like it may be a female that's buried. This one looks like it's probably a male. And this is why I'm just basically putting them, tearing down their tank and putting them in there. Because for one, this one looks a little wonky, like maybe it's, I don't know, like maybe it wasn't getting the best nutrition or something, you know, like I don't know what's going on with that one, but it was kind of not swimming like a normal shrimp. So I don't know if she's gonna make it, but with only 1 or 2 shrimps, it's not that easy to make a shrimp colony out of. And my local fish store, I bought all of these to sell to my local fish store, and my local fish store only wants green, yellow, orange, white, black. They don't necessarily want black diamonds, green jades, orange sakuras, neon yellows. They just want some different color shrimp. They don't necessarily care about the, like, they don't necessarily care about the type or the brand, if you will. Like, they don't care about that. They just care about the coloring. So according to, I don't know if it's the same video, but I saw a video from L.R. Brett's Aquatics, sorry for getting tongue-tied. But I saw a video from him, I think it was, that talked about, no, it was not the same video, but I saw a video from him that talked about a lot of people think when you put shrimps of different colors in a tank, they all turn brown. He had a shrimp like that. He called it his call tank. That's kind of what this is going to be. My 75 and eventually 90-gallon guppy planted. It's going to be like a call shrimp tank for all these shrimps that either just have 1 or 2 members, or just, I mean, I bought all of these for the local fish store, so I mean, they don't care about the types, they just care about the colors. But he had like a pink shrimp that was thrown off and all these other different wild colors that aren't common. So I'm just gonna basically experiment with that. I mean, if I get a few browns, that's not the biggest deal. I'm sure they'll still take them, and I'll double check and ask when I take some of these on Monday, not these two specifically because it's not enough. But I will double check and ask and make sure they're okay with it. But I'll see you in a few moments with the next type of shrimp, which I will have to acclimate a couple of these to the tap parameters. This is just dechlorinated tap that's in the 75 gallon. This is actually from the 75 gallon. But I'm gonna have to acclimate a couple of them because they have this fluvial shrimp stratum, which makes it a lot, like basically 6.8, 6.9, and my tap is known to be up to like 8.0 now, 7.8. So I'm gonna put them in probably one of those tanks. Maybe I may just try to tear one of these down, put them in this, you know, with some obvious, like the same water that they're in, because I don't want to shock them too much, and basically just, you know, take all the fluvial shrimp stratum out. You like the floaters? Put it on the top of my hand. But take some of this fluvial shrimp stratum out, basically refill it with, you know, maybe from the other tank or something. Like, I'll figure it out. But basically, I'm gonna have to acclimate the orange sakuras and the neon yellows because they're in specialty conditions that are not tapped. So I'll catch you when I get the snowballs turned. I really gotta stop talking so fast. Yeah, I'll catch you when I get the snowball tank toned down, and then we'll kind of quickly go through the black diamonds, the dream blue velvets, and the carbon realies, and then I'll probably get on the orange sakuras and neon yellows. I might have to do that tomorrow morning though. So I'll catch you in a few moments, and stay tuned. Okay guys, I wanted to show you how I process a tank. First off, I drain the water down where it's one whole bucket. This is my dream blue velvets I'm doing now. I put all the plants and everything, like the moss, the ferns, any of the cholla wood that may be in there. I put it all in this. I put it in the bucket I eventually put them in to put them over there. And if there's any stem plants that are rooted, let me show you where I put them. I put them right in here. That one is the one that I just put in there. Of course, like, kind of see the gap in the substrate. That's like a huge gap. And there's one that I put over here. It's the one right back there, I think, or maybe it's this one, I forget. But there's still a gap, and the reason for that is I want them to grow straight up. And if I put them too close to those, they eventually grow out, because some of those are already growing out because I put them too close. But you can see the spread of the leaves is really long. So I want to keep enough distance between them that the lower leaves don't start dropping and rotting and everything else, polluting the tank. But after I get them all in the bucket, now that I need to go all the way back around my fish room, I kind of just gently lift and lift a few times to try to encourage any shrimps that might be in there to come out. There hasn't been any as of yet, but I don't know, there might be eventually, so I do it just in case. And I'm going to try to section this moss so I can get the different types that I have in here. This is basically my entire moss collection, so it's not really, it's just assorted moss at this time. Obviously I know that's a Wessotang right there. And I know a couple other types. I can tie them down and see how they grow to determine what other types might be in here. And with cholla wood, just to point this out, I kind of just dunk it like that, because shrimps love to hide inside of this. And you won't be able to see, but you may not always see the shrimp, so that's why I kind of dunk it in and then turn it 180 and dunk it in again. And then after that, this is basically what I leave. I know it's a little bit of debris mess, but I leave that until I catch the shrimps. And I kind of need to do that now, and I kind of need both hands because I cannot. You want good quality videos, it will not be good quality if I try to do this on camera. Now I'm going to have to film with one hand and catch them with the other, so I'll catch you in a little bit, and you'll see how many shrimps I get out of this tank in just a few minutes, so a few seconds actually for you guys, so stick around. Okay, so my hands are still a little bit wet, but I just put this into here, this moss. And I wanted to, since I shared a little bit earlier about how I process the tanks while taking them down, I wanted to let you know that shrimp was either in the cholla wood, just right here, or in the moss that I put beside it. So you can catch shrimps in the plants and stuff, and that's why I put them in here, because if I would have just put them in there, that guy may not still be alive. I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick, just because, I mean, I have to end this soon, so I'm gonna real quick catch all the black diamonds that I can, and the neon yellows, the orange securas, and the carbon realies will have to wait until tomorrow morning before the day starts taking off. So catching that clip in just a few seconds. Okay guys, I caught 6 Dream Blue Velvet Shrimp. I think 2 of them are buried, so I need to get them in there quickly to reduce stress and everything. But I looked in here with my phone's flashlight feature, and I did not see any shrimplets. But just like the green jades, I will leave this up, and just like the snowballs that does have shrimplets, I will leave this up for at least a month just to let them have a chance to grow a little bit, make themselves visible, and make themselves a little bit easier to catch. But just because this one has buried females, I will keep this on camera, because I said something in the snowball clip that I might end up putting it after this clip, or after this shrimp's set of clips, because I kind of said something that some of you might take offense to, and I don't want you guys to think I'm abusive to my fish or anything, because I'm not. And since this has a couple buried shrimps, I believe, it would be a great tank to show you guys what I mean by what I said. And if it happens, I'll definitely tell you guys, but if not, I'm keeping it secretive because I don't want to have to, not show you guys another clip, because I don't want a bunch of hate comments. And I do want you guys to understand what I say though, and what I mean by what I say, so that there's no confusion and no misunderstandings between us, because I'm not abusive and I'm not mean to my fish. When I fill this up, I literally just dip it in the water, and I let any fish that ends up in there swim out of its own accord. So I'm not some mean guy who just really doesn't like fish. I really do love fish. Just depends on the type, I suppose. Let's go ahead and see if any of the guppies try to attack any of these shrimps. So if they do, I can show you what I meant by what I said earlier, and I'll tell you what I said. Oops, sorry for the camera, I completely lapse in judgment for me. So you can kind of see that one back there, it's buried. Sorry for all the algae on the front glass, I really need to clean it. I typically do that on Saturdays, so. And these hard water stains are just impossible to get out. So I'm gonna try to, force them out in a way, just to try to give them, just to try to save a little bit of time and stuff. And trying to film, yeah, I completely did not succeed in that. So let's go ahead and see if any of them try to nip at the shrimps or anything, which of course they're not, because they want me to, think they're well behaved and everything. But they typically are well behaved, but I'll go ahead and show you, because they all kind of, down there and everything, which I don't mind that. But like, say one of these guppies, because what I said, I would slap a fish if they if they kept nipping at one of them that I was just introducing or something. And I kind of want to show you what I mean by that, because I don't want a bunch of people to misunderstand what I'm saying. What I would typically do is just kind of like, see, like that. Oh, and I didn't even catch that on camera, that's lovely. But like, let's go ahead and try to get my hand next to another fish. I would kind of go like that, where like I wouldn't actually make contact. Like I wouldn't actually make contact, but I would startle them so that they wouldn't. Yeah, now it's just not even afraid. But basically, I would just flick my hand so that hopefully to startle them, and if I made contact, which I typically don't, because I'm a professional. Get it? Professional. Anyways. Oh, I'm such a tryhard with these puns on my channel, but still, they're funny nonetheless. If you laughed, leave a comment down below and subscribe. If you cringed, leave a comment. Leave a like down below and subscribe. Doesn't matter. Just, you know, like my videos, share them, subscribe. Do me some good. But anyways, basically, I don't typically do that, and I try not to make contact with them because I don't want to hurt them. It may stun them. I haven't done that very much before, so I can't really say I've never killed a fish doing that because I haven't done it very much. But I try not to do it very much, and if I do, it's just like what I showed. Just kind of move my finger, because they have a lateral line. They will sense the water, at least that's what I hope. They will sense the water and lose interest in what they're chasing, and they'll swim away. That's typically what should happen when you do something like that. But you never want to make contact with the fish with your hand if you do something like that, just to try to get them to shoo away from whatever they're chasing, because you could actually hurt them, you could stun them. And if you have any aggressive tank mates, they will bombard that fish and possibly kill it. And I say will loosely, but generally if they're aggressive, they kind of have a pecking order. Just like these semi-aggressive tiger bobs I have that I'm supposed to be trying to breed. And I'm just keeping them because they're pesky, annoying little fish. And I say that because I love you guys, but you're supposed to breed for me and you have not already. It's entirely my fault though, but I'm going to go ahead and end this clip. I'll probably put this in front of the snowball shrimp clip just because I want to explain myself a little bit. And I want to show you guys that I'm not abusive and I'm not trying to hurt my fish or anything. I just, especially when it's a buried shrimp, I don't want it to go after I don't want the guppies to go after the eggs and end up harming the shrimp, making them release the eggs into the tank, because they're probably not going to survive just strewn on the bottom of the tank. The guppies will eat the eggs and stuff. So I just want to make that clear that by slapping a fish, I just mean kind of moving my hand swiftly towards it, stepping just before I actually touch the fish, just so its lateral line will load it and it'll hopefully lose interest if it's picking out a fish and just swim away. So next I'm going to probably try to get the black diamond, which, I mean, if this bucket wasn't there I could kind of show you, but yeah, that's going to be a tight squeeze and a really fun one to try to get. Probably going to have to take this, put it on the other side, move this brick somewhere where it would not break anything, probably. Sorry for the completely sideways view. Probably underneath that headstand there, and then we'll see what I can do as far as getting back there to actually get those shrimps out and everything. I really should have thought this through a little bit more and possibly did this before I did that. But that's how I live life. It's a learn as you go type of thing. You do what you think is best, and if you fail, well, you try again next time if you get the chance, and hopefully you don't fail too bad. I mean, isn't that what parents always do? They have to try the best, because there isn't a manual on how to live life. There isn't a manual on how to raise kids. There's a manual on how to figure out how to do this stuff. I mean, I'm literally just trying my best right now and figuring it out as I go along. And I still have not figured out how I'm going to do those. I think I'm going to drain it into, not that bucket, because that bucket's sturdy and it's wastewater. I don't put that back in any tanks, as you may be able to tell. That goes in the front lawn. And I have a bucket that I use to refill all my tanks. I might drain one of those into that bucket and then put some water in the, well, it's over yonder. But put some water in there and then just kind of transfer the shrimps and acclimate them to the tap water slowly over the course of the next few days to a week. but I know there's not 20 of those in there, just like there hasn't been yet. So I do know I'll be able to sell them some carbon realies if nothing else. That's the only reason why I mentioned that to the manager, because I'm like, yeah, college neglect the last month of college because of finals. I mean, I fed them, but not consistently like I typically do, and didn't get a lot of time for water changes either. But everything else I maintained before and after that point. So I'll catch you guys in the next clip in just a second for you guys, and in a few minutes for me. See you later. Okay guys, you may not be able to see one of them. There's another. I think that's another one. But there is 5 snowball shrimps in here. There's 2 right next to each other. The one, so that's 4. Now this is gonna bug me if I can't find the 5th. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 adults. There are plenty of shrimplets in here. I'm not sure if the light's gonna be good enough to see them, but there's 2 right there. 1, and I think that's another one there, but they're all, oh, and there's one in the background there. So there are a few shrimplets in here, and what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to stress out the shrimplets or anything, I'm gonna keep these tanks running for a month, all of these tanks, just so that the shrimplets have a decent chance to grow up and will make it a little bit easier for me to see them and catch them. And I'm still gonna feed them a little bit, but they're mostly just gonna be feeding off the biofilm and stuff. I'm gonna have to put a small filter in some of these tanks. Like, I mean, obviously a very small filter, something like that. Is that not something that's been in one of these 2 tanks? But I'm gonna have to put something in here so that, I mean, there's the air stone's already, or the air hose is already aerating the water in both of these. I don't know if you can see that back there, but I'm gonna leave both of these running for at least a month. That one I don't think there's any shrimplets in, but just in case, leave it running for a month just like it is. And basically after a month I'm gonna come back in here and try to catch as many as I can, like every couple weeks or something. So I'm gonna probably try to harvest some of these twice in this next month. But I really don't want to be that guy who ends up stressing out little bitty shrimps. So I'm gonna leave them in here, try to feed them a little bit, and I'll try to show you how I try to release these guys. Except this one's kind of full and I don't really have that much confidence in this thing not tipping over. Sheesh. If this thing tips, it's gonna be a very bad day. My local fish store wants at least 20 shrimps that are the coloration they're supposed to be, so basically adults. The thing about snowball shrimps is they show coloration from the get-go, basically, because they're white, somewhat translucent shrimps. So there's none of that, oh, it's gonna be like kind of gray, kind of clear, then it's gonna get yellow or green or anything like that, because really it's already the color it's going to be when it gets in there. So as I said with the last one, this water is basically, this water was taken from this tank, and now I'm gonna try to release them. The guppies down here are kind of trying to see what's going on down there. This is also why I don't want to get any shrimplets out of the tanks, because these adult guppies and the adult female molly will, and well, they can and they probably will try to eat shrimplets. Let's go ahead and try to give you a better view of what's going on. I kind of just tip it in there and kind of let them swim out at their own leisure. The female green jade missed the bucket completely, so we'll see what happens with these guys. I cannot actually tell if she was buried. She moved too quick and got on the near the side pane, so I couldn't really tell one way or the other. And just to kind of save time and encourage them to leave, I am kind of moving the bucket up a little bit, just to try to, oh, well, that was a little bit fast. There's a shrimp there. Let's see if I can, well, yeah, I'm, okay, yeah, Sorry for my very bad videography skills. I really do not have enough practice with this yet. I am just a noob on beginner with 32 subscribers, so go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more of this really noobish, kind of cringy content. But they can't really eat the adult shrimps. They may kind of, well, looks like that one kind of tried to harass that one. And if there is anything that I see that I'm not comfortable with, I will stick my hand in there and literally whack a fish. If it's really trying to harass a shrimp, like, I'm not afraid to whack these fish. These are not breeding fish. I mean, I don't like whacking fish because it could stun them and stuff. So I try not to actually make contact, but it scares them so that they don't go after the shrimps. So I do kind of just watch a little bit to make sure all the shrimps made it, to make sure they're not being harassed. This is actually like a, I have a feeling this will become like a feeding frenzy, like whenever they have shrimplets or whatever, because the females, according to LR Brett's Aquatics, will actually release the shrimplets in that bucket right there. And I didn't notice any buried females of the snowball shrimps, but there was a buried female when she was in the tank, and that's probably where all of these shrimplets came from. She probably released them a couple days ago, and I guess I was kind of lucky enough to put this off long enough to not stress her out so she would drop her eggs or anything. That is kind of a concern with some shrimps, as they do sometimes drop eggs if they're stressed or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and end this clip here, and I'll show you guys. This is probably going to be a 20 to 30 minute video. I hope you guys don't mind. But I'm going to show you guys how many blue dream velvets or dream blue velvets I have. And if there's 20, we'll see about putting them in a different tank to sell to my local fish store on Monday, or to take to my local fish store on Monday. So go ahead and stay tuned, and just one momento, or 1 second. I don't know how to say that in Spanish, so I apologize. Just 1 sec. Okay, so there is 8 black diamond shrimps. Some aren't so black, some are like red, which is really cool. Some are more like just clear. I caught one that was completely clear. I don't know if it was just a juvenile. But as you can see, my lights are going out. This is the only one. This is like, for whatever reason, it goes off at 8:15. That goes off at like 8:08, 8:09. These goes off at like 8 even almost. Maybe 8:09, maybe 8:07, something like that. These go off at like 8:15, so it's about 8:10, maybe 8:12 now. 8:11, so you know, right in the middle. But I'm gonna put these in there, and there might be one more adult shrimp that I can get out of there, but with only 8, maybe 9 if there's one still in there, it's not enough to sell to those, to my local fish store. Almost named them. Not quite. But it's not enough to sell to my local fish store because they want quantities of 20 to 50. So looks like the only shrimps I'll be selling them, or you know, giving them as a free sample, since this is my first time, looks like the only shrimps I'll be giving to them will be the carbon realies, but I should be able to give them 50 of those, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem, I hope. I'm gonna go ahead and dump these in real quick since I need to get this done. I don't want to stress anyone out too much. I don't want to shine this light in here too much because it is completely dark. And I'm not even really showing you what's going on, but yeah. You guys have seen it before, so I don't think there's any need to repeat. I will get these snails out of here so they don't remain in here overnight. And drop them in like that. Try to save as many as I can. Put some of the assassin snail breeders thing over there. Show you guys that real quick. You might not be able to see very much into it, but guess we'll find out together, won't we? But if I do, I'll look in the black diamonds in the morning. They have very low bioload, so I'm not super worried about 1 or 2 adult shrimp making a huge ammonia spike in the tank unless one of them dies, which I left the stem plants in there and the Crypt Lutea green in there. So I don't think there's going to be any sort of problem with them not having any food or anything, because I didn't feed any of those tanks since I was going to get them in the 75. This is my Assassin Snow breeding tank. I try not to touch the water. I just have no interest in it since it's not filtered. But you can see there's a... Wow, dude. Real smart. And that one I'm guessing is actually dead. I thought he might just be way back there, but it looks like he's just dead, so I'll have to take him out. These guys have been having a feast lately. When I took down the leaking 75 gallon down there, you can kind of see the rim right there. These guys got a lot of snails, and they hadn't eaten in quite a while because I just kind of left them in a little, you know, I kind of just didn't feed them for a very long time. Used to have more, but, you know, hopefully this is a male and a female. If not, I can buy like 6 or 8 more from my local fish store. But I'll get to the orange, yellow, and really shrimp, as well as the rest of the black shrimp tomorrow. But everything's toning off, so I gotta leave as well. I don't want to be walking in here and, you know, I don't know, it's just... It's my time off as well, so I'll catch you guys in the next clip, which will be in the morning. It'll be all night for me, but only a few seconds for y'all, so stay tuned. But that's all for this video. I hope you subscribe, like, and go ahead and just, you know, comment if you have any suggestions for improving my content or anything as such, or just you just want to say hi. Comment down below, and I look forward to making fish, shrimp, and crab related videos in the future, so stay tuned guys, because the next clip is about to start.